minutes in the beginning to get to let everybody get in, and then we'll get everything going. Let's see here. So for those of you who don't know me, and I do see some familiar faces out there, so thanks for being here. Excuse me. Armiza, I think I accidentally let in a note taker, and I don't know if you guys usually do that or not, but I just did. So I'll let you kick the note taker out if you don't want it in here. I apologize.
Yeah, all good.
Um, all right. So Armiza, do you want to do introductions or what should we do?
Yeah, we can go ahead for the introductions.
All right. So you guys, for those of you who I haven't met before, my name is Debbie Morrow. I am partnered with Chris and Robert and Walt in Epic Realty and work with them quite closely. And they are all at a conference today. So they asked me to come in here and share with you something that they haven't done before. And so anybody who was on my virtual coffee last week has already probably met this our get today's guests, but they're so amazing and they're teaching us something so cool that I wanted everyone else here to be able to have the opportunity to hear from them what they're doing and teach you how you can do the exact same things that they're doing. And Jenny says she can't hear anything. Can everyone else hear me? Um, Susan can hear me. Okay. So I'm going to guess then, Jenny, that it's you. Thank you. Armisa, you're doing such a good job commenting in the chat and taking care of everyone. Thank you. All right. So I do believe that we are live now in on Facebook. Is that correct, Armisa? Um,
I'm
okay.
still setting it up, but I'll
Oh,
take care of
okay.
it.
So, so then I'm just going to stall for a couple more minutes while she gets us live on Facebook. Um, so,
Yeah,
since
sorry, Debbie.
we're
We are
ready to go
live on yeah, on YouTube. So we're now on YouTube. So
we're live on YouTube. Oh wow, I haven't done live on YouTube before, so this is a first for me. All right, you guys. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Debbie Morrow. I am partnered with Robert Walt and Chris in Epic Realty. Epic Realty back there that we all know and love. And I see a lot of familiar faces on here who are also partnered with us at Epic Realty. So I love that. Um, I host a Thursday morning virtual coffee that a lot of you have actually been to many times. And last week's guest shared with us something so amazing when Robert reached out and asked me if I could help you guys out this week. I said, yes, can I invite Rachel and Dalton? And he thought it was a great idea. So these two are doing something super cool. They live in rural Montana and run a marketing agency. But what they've done with their marketing agency is actually teach business owners how to do direct mail for free. Can you believe that? Like, direct mail is probably one of the more expensive things we do because we have to pay for whatever we're mailing, we have to pay for postage. It can get quite expensive depending on, how many people you're mailing out to. So, I'm just going to have Rachel and Dalton unmute and introduce themselves and really just kind of turn the mic over to them. I probably will be asking them questions throughout the presentation, but Rachel and Dalton, tell us all about who you are and what you do and what you've got for us today.
Yeah, thanks so much, Debbie. I'm Rachel, and this is Dalton. She kind of explained the whole Montana thing, which we talk about that a lot with what we're going to talk about today. Because if we can go do this in Montana, we know you guys can do this in your area too. If you guys don't know, Montana, the way they do business there, they run on referrals. They don't believe in a lot of marketing. So we kind of created this really cool foot in the door offer for our agency that then also generates revenue and income for our business. And we also advertise our business ourselves, our marketing agency, and our real estate investing business to generate leads for the real estate, especially. For free. And so we consistently have over $3,000 worth of direct mail going out with our name on it every single month. So I put together a little presentation for you guys to kind of help give you some visuals and all that good stuff. So I will go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah, and while she's sharing, just kind of explain a little bit more about this offer, as it's going to really help you with networking as well, because you're able to start to help your community, you're able to meet great people, and it's a way to bring others together and all share the same idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, the question that we like to ask everybody, if you could send unlimited postcards to your dream neighborhoods for $0 out of your pocket and get paid to do it, how many would you send? Just drop it in the comments for me. And I can't see the comments, unfortunately. I'm not going to click off my screen here. So I'm just going to anticipate that you guys are saying unlimited, and that's the right answer.
Well, I said infinity, but
Infinity. Perfect. That's my new favorite. Okay, so we kind of talked about the businesses that we own. We live in out just outside of Missoula, Montana. We've lived there for a few years, but when we were getting our businesses up and going, we didn't know anybody. We did not have any connections. We didn't have any contacts. We didn't know anybody. So we were completely starting from scratch in a new city and a new businesses actually. So we really got creative on how we could get our name out there without having to go into our non-existent deep pockets because we didn't have them yet. So that's kind of where we started and where this idea came from. So the big idea here, I'm going to show you guys a picture of what these postcards look like, but just to give you a little bit of background on this, it's the idea of this is for you to become the connector of your community, especially as agents, real estate investors. You guys are very much mingling with the community. You work with other people closely. The one thing that you guys share in common with any other business owner out there is that you guys want exposure, especially locally in the area that you're looking to do business. So you kind of come in and you bring this new idea of a shared postcard that goes out to what we do is we do 2,500 homes at a time, just to give you an idea. So everybody wants exposure, but not everybody can afford it. So you bring them together, and then that brings the cost way down for everybody participating. I'm sure you guys know the cost of direct mail, how expensive it can be on its own. It can cost, two, $3,000, even up to ten or $20,000, depending on the size of the mailing that you're doing. So it brings that cost way down for everybody. You get your spot free and you profit. So everybody involved wins.
Yeah, and it's really cool because you're actually helping these small businesses instead of just being, a realtor. Like you get to start to get exposure for your own name. You get to start being the go-to person for exposure. And the whole premise behind this is to help other people. So if you can kind of shift your mindset instead of the money and the free advertising, like you're doing a whole lot more than just getting your name out there. You're really building strong relationships with this.
Yeah, great point. Thanks, Dalton. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering what a community card is, and it's an oversized postcard. So it's bigger than anything that lands in people's mailboxes. You see the little 4x6 postcards, maybe even a 5x7. with one business on there. They kind of get lost in the shuffle, but this is a 6.5 by 12-inch postcard. So it's bigger than my head. I don't have one here with me, but it's bigger than my head. It reaches 2,500 homes at a time. Of course, you can do more. We have found this is the sweet spot for cost and mailing size. It features up to 16 local businesses, including you, for free, and it makes it affordable for everyone. So here in our area, we charge $150 per spot. We are on the lower end of things because of that whole Montana mindset. $150 works really well where we're at. We have seen people charge 199, even up to 250 for these spots. So just kind of keep that in mind. You can even go lower than the 150 if you just want to break even on the postcard, but why not make some money in the process? So this is what one of the cards looked like that this realtor Ross did in Bozeman, Montana. So he gave himself a nice big spot in the top left there. And this is one of our templated designs where you basically just plug and play the information. I'm sure you guys are kind of thinking like, I don't know how to design a postcard. That sounds like a lot of work. Well, it's actually not, because just make sure you keep it templated like this and just switch out the offers, the phone numbers, information, things like that. You don't have to be a designer in order to do this. Um, so this is just one of the designs that we have used and that other people have used and seen success with. It kind of gives it like a value savings coupon style vibe where people get this in the mailbox and they know exactly what they're getting.
Yeah, and to kind of break it down even more, I know we said that you can have up to 16 business on this. This is front and back, but you only need about half the card filled to actually break even with cost. So if you guys wanted to take up one whole side and then sell the other side, it's completely up to you. But that's how he's able to do the two spots in the top left and then sell the rest and still make a profit.
Yeah, there's multiple different ways that you can do this for whatever works for you. If it's more about you would rather kind of have some profit and just put your ad on there for free, you can give yourself a smaller spot. If you really just want free advertising, like the biggest spot possible where nobody can miss your name and your face, then you can kind of, tailor it to what works for you. Okay, so just wanted to kind of break down the numbers for you guys. So as we mentioned, it can fit up to 16 local businesses. Like we said, that can kind of vary depending on the spot that you're wanting to take for yourself. Um, so if you're charging $150, that means that you're going to collect $2,400 from all the participating businesses. That can be more. If you charge more, that can be a little less if you charge less. But if you charge the 150 for 16 businesses, your profit will be around $1,000. So again, like I said, if you could get paid to also get free advertising, wouldn't you do it? So these ones go to 2,500 homes. You can do more. We don't recommend doing any less because you want to make sure you're reaching the best number of homes possible for exposure. You can go down to as far as 500, but that's just a really small mailing that we don't recommend. So I'd say 2,500 and up is what you want to stick to.
Yeah, and the this is subject to change due to, postage increases.
Mhm.
We just had an increase in July by 2 cents. So, but for right now, like these are the solid numbers.
Okay, so you might think that it sounds really complicated to do something like this, but it's really three simple steps. So, first, you want to pick your neighborhoods, and you're going to find 2,500 homes in a well-known area. Maybe it's a neighborhood that you've been wanting to kind of break into, or you've done a little bit of activity there and you want to expand. Whatever makes sense for you, you can kind of narrow it down by those neighborhoods. Then you want to fill your card by reaching out to local businesses. Think of everywhere you go on a daily basis. Is there a local coffee shop? Do you get your hair cut somewhere? As a realtor or real estate investor, you're most likely working with contractors, plumbing guys, HVAC guys, roofers that you already know and recommend and that already know you. It's always a really good place to start with the people that you already know because they already know, like, and trust you. Um, and then you can kind of start to branch out from there. And then step three is just complete the designs and send it to a printer. And I'll kind of explain a little bit more about that. So if you find a printer that specializes in EDDM, which there are a lot out there. They can actually handle the full fulfillment for you. And so let me back up. EDDM stands for Every Door Direct Mail. It's a service through the post office. It's completely free, and it's how you pick your neighborhood. So the really cool thing about this is that you don't have to buy a list, you don't have to have a list. You just go and find your list through the post office, and that's EDDM. And so then you find a printer that specializes in EDDM fulfillment. And what that means is they will print all of your postcards, they'll bundle them per EDDM requirements, and then actually ship them to your local post office. So you don't ever have to touch postcards. You can handle the mailing yourselves. We don't for the sake of time. So that's not what we recommend. It can get really hairy when you're talking, matching the post office requirements. It's not something
Yeah.
that we want to deal with.
And we've done orders, up to 10,000 postcards at once. So 2,500 may not seem like a lot, but when you start to jump up, you really want somebody else to handle it.
Yes, absolutely. So this is one of our clients that we are working with. He's in Orlando, Florida, and when he came to us, he was saying the same thing that I think a lot of you guys can kind of understand and appreciate, whether you're there now or you're there at some point in your career. It was that nobody knew that he existed, and how can he get listings and how can he do business if nobody knows that he exists? So within 2 weeks, he filled his first card and he was actually able to make $1,200 profit. He was charging 199, and I think he sold out, I want to say 12 spots, 10 or 12, and he gave himself a nice big spot. He's been doing it consistently now. He's running 3 cards a month. So he's generating that consistent income and getting himself exposure where people have actually started to recognize him from the postcard. Okay, 30 days. What's 30 days going to look like for you? So, week one is going to be your foundation. You want to pick that neighborhood that you want to send to, start thinking about who you would like to feature. Like I said, businesses that you already know and do business with, and then places that you go, the gym that you go to, the place you get coffee every morning. Just start talking about what you do and start reaching out to people, and the card is going to fill. So when you are doing your outreach, remember you're not asking for much. It's only $150 to $250. And I guarantee you, most small businesses have looked into direct mail because everybody believes in direct mail. Everybody knows that it works. It's something that has been around since day one, and
Yeah.
it is not going anywhere.
Yeah, and a really cool statistic is on average in the US, every single household on average gets about 2 pieces of mail a day. So that means that you got this big open canvas that you can put your name and brand and other people in, that there's not much competition.
Right, absolutely. So when you know that direct mail could cost thousands and you bring to them something that costs a couple of hundred, they're going to be really happy. Week three, you're going to be closing those deals, collecting payments, and designing your card. Then you're going to get it over to print and fulfillment and get started on the next one. So after 30 days, and I'll tell you, it could probably go a lot quicker than that. Your card would be in in mailboxes and your name in front of all of those potential customers. So we know that you guys all are capable of doing this, and whether you want to come hang out with us or not, we really just want to share the knowledge and the idea of this because we've seen the power that it had for our business
Mhm.
and everybody else's business that we are working with. So if you scan this QR code, it takes you to a free mini course that kind of recaps all the steps that we just mentioned, gives a few extra little details that can kind of help you guys along the way. So the biggest takeaway that I want you guys to have here is that this is so easy. You guys can do this. If you can sell a house, you can definitely sell these postcards. So we really just want you guys to take the idea and run with it because we know that it can work. Not only can it get money in your pocket, it can also get your name out to your ideal neighborhoods for free. I know there's a lot of big realtors and investors that you guys are competing with on the daily basis, and they might have big budgets, so they're sending out postcards, but you can come in and easily beat them when your budget is unlimited. So
Yeah.
go ahead and scan this QR code. We can also put the link in the chat for you guys if you don't want to scan the QR code. Um, And now we will just answer any questions that you guys have.
That is great. I've actually been answering a couple of questions in the chat as we go, and I think Jenny gets it now. She actually did a cost breakdown so that she could understand it. So the thing to understand and just to kind of to break it down into a little bit more detail so that it's the easiest math you can possibly have. There are 16 spots on these cards. Dalton, can you grab the link and put it in the chat? Somebody is on their phone and they can't scan the QR code. So if you could do
Yep.
that, that's amazing. Um, so if you keep one spot for yourself of the 16 and you sell the other 15 spots for $150, Jenny did the math in the chat, you can see that you collected $2,250 from other vendors. And the postcard, Rachel hasn't said this specifically this time, but I've talked with her so many times recently. I know the cost to send 2,500 cards is $1,262. And so when you collect $2,250 and it costs you $1,262, that is $988 worth of profit. Now, you certainly can keep two spots for yourself, or three spots for yourself, or eight spots for yourself if you want, one whole side of the card, or if you want half, and that this is what I would do. If I was only going to sell half the spots, I would take half of the card on one side and half of the card on the other side. So when they save the card, no matter which side they're looking at, they're seeing my face, right? So
Yep.
be smart about how we lay this out. And the other thing that I would recommend doing is working with a business that has a low cost point, meaning a coffee shop, a pizza restaurant, any restaurant, whatever, something that has a very low cost that everyone can actually use on the card. So people are going to save that card for the next time they go to the coffee shop or the next time they want to order delivery pizza or whatever, and it'll be posted on their refrigerator where they see your face every time they open and close the refrigerator door. If you only have a HVAC and bigger purchase items like that, a roofer, that kind of thing. If you only have those businesses and somebody just moved into a brand new home, um, I know those aren't your target clients anyways, but it's likely that they're going to go, oh, I don't need any of this stuff and toss it in the trash. But if you have something on there or a few somethings on there that everyone can use, they're actually going to save the card. So that's a super cool idea.
Yeah.
To add to that, Debbie, pizza shops, coffee shops, they're low margin places. So, if you're looking to get started in your on your card, give a spot away for free to one of them, and then instantly build credibility selling to other people. But it really helps them too because they don't have a bunch of marketing money in the first place. They got a lot of waste when it comes to perishable foods and stuff like that. So you could really help them in the long run too.
Yeah.
That's a
Absolutely.
great idea. And you know what? Those people who own those small businesses that are restaurants and things, they're business owners, and if they own a business, they probably own a home in your same town.
Mhm.
So yes, we want you to be the person they think of. Oh my gosh, this person really helped in my business. I want to help their business, right? So this is really like all about, and you're going to make amazing connections with those businesses that you are promoting on your cards because they can't get this type of advertising for so inexpensive anywhere else. So you're going to be the hero to those businesses. Um, so Nakia asked, printing is on one side, so all businesses go on one side. So Rachel, Dalton, you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so Nakia, it's actually two-sided. So it can fit up to 8 businesses on each side. And like Debbie was saying, put yourself on both sides if you want to give up spots on both sides so that no matter what way they're looking at it, they see your face. But yes, it's a two-sided postcard, so it allows more room.
Excellent. Anyone, I think we've gotten most of the, well, okay, so once the cards leave the printer, do we take them to the post office or does the printer? So Rachel addressed that earlier when she said that the printer she uses mails them directly to the post offices and has the connection and knows exactly how to do it. They have to be like rubber banded in a certain way so that they go by routes and all that kind of stuff. And the printer that she works with knows exactly what to do and mails them to the right people. So really, once you've completed, filling all your spots and the design and stuff, and you turn it over to the printer, you're pretty much done.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the really nice part of this. You can handle the mailing yourselves, but like I said, it can get super hairy in a hurry if something goes wrong and you don't have them bundled properly. So, for the sake of what it costs to have them do fulfillment, it is totally worth
Yeah,
it.
and we've talked to a lot of printers too, and we've definitely found the one that's got, the most affordable to give you the most profit at the end.
Hmm.
Excellent. So Gladys asks, when bringing this to the business, how do you present the collection of the funds from each business owner?
So you can actually use any payment processing. You can use PayPal, Stripe. I can't think of any. Those are the two
Wave,
that
yeah,
Wave. Those are the two that
QuickBooks.
we use. QuickBooks. So you're just collecting payment either through a payment link or a really simple invoice.
So the other thing I will tell you is this is marketing for your business. And so um, every smart realtor, and if you don't have one of these, I apologize. I'm not trying to say you're not smart, but as you're opening your business, you probably already set up a separate checking account, a business checking account for your real estate business. This is marketing for your business. And so those funds could and should be run through that business account. So if they want to write you a check, because, some businesses do still use checks. So you can have them write a check, connect your Stripe account to your business account. There's also Venmo, any of those ones out there. Just deposit it all into your business account. And you know what? If you're making $1,000 a month off of this, that is really going to help you when it comes to paying all those other fees that you have to pay as a realtor, when it's time to renew your license, when you have to take CEs, when it's time to pay your association dues. You know what? It is November 5th. You guys could actually get out two mailings before the end of the year and have $2,000 in profit and be able to pay your association fees for next year just by doing this system.
There you
So
go.
that's something we hadn't even thought about before.
Yeah, that's perfect, Debbie.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Anybody want to unmute themselves? And yes, you can have a lender spot too.
Yep. Yes, we have seen realtors even do just solo cards with just them and a lender.
So if you are not an LLC, I get it. Sometimes agents, when they first start, do not actually do an LLC. But hopefully you do have a separate checking account. If so that all of your business funds go into that checking account, your commissions, anything like that go directly into that, and you're paying all of your business related bills out of that account, so that even a very rudimentary system, you can turn that accounting over to your tax professional to help you get the most for what you've earned, or what you lost, whatever the case is for the year, right? Who can give us the printer for printing templates and design? I'm going to let you guys talk about that. Go for it.
Yeah, Jenny, that's actually within our community that we have. So if you do choose to join and come hang out with us, we have done for you templates, even the scripts to use for reaching out to these businesses. We've got video walkthroughs on certain hacks that we have discovered that make your life a lot easier. And then the printer's information is in there as well. And we actually do monthly live calls with Dalton and myself where you can hop on with us, bring your challenges, your wins, ask us your questions. So that's actually all within inside the community, Jenny.
All right. Anyone else have any questions? Feel free. Gladys.
I know I keep rehashing this, but I'm not getting the complete answer. What I'm asking about as far as going, well, I've never sold spots before, advertising spots. So for me to walk in and say, "Hey, I got this great postcard for you. Give me your money. I'm going to put you on this postcard." Is it that easy to get their confidence for them to pay me for this job that I've not yet done for them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And Gladys, are you a realtor, agent, investor?
I'm both a realtor and a mortgage loan officer.
Okay, perfect. So, I'll tell you a little secret. You have a little bit of an advantage than Dalton and myself. We are the big bad marketing agency where, people are hounded by marketers these days. They're always reaching out, trying to sell them services and whatnot. So, we approach it as a marketing agency as we are. And then if we're doing anything with like our real estate investing, we actually have seen an improvement in the response when we say, "Hey, I'm a local business owner and I'm just looking for ways to bring the community together where we can share marketing costs and, get our names in front of thousands of people." It's actually more well received. So if you say, "I'm Gladys, I'm a realtor here in town. I'm looking to get my name out there, and I thought I'd bring some other people along with me to share the cost so that we can all kind of get marketing way more affordable than normal. Would you guys be interested in hopping on with me?" You already have instant credibility because you're a local realtor and you're bringing them an offer that is much, much lower than they can get on their own. So almost like a buddy system, like a community buddy system. And people really love it. The man Daniel that I mentioned earlier, he is a local realtor. And when he approaches us that way, people, they can go look him up. They can see that he's a realtor. They can see that he's, sold homes in the area. It just gives instant credibility. And then it's just like friend to friend instead of business to business, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and then does the stuff that you give us on that QR code, that information, does it include something that we can actually show them?
So it doesn't in there, but if you just create something on Canva, it's super, super simple. Like however you want to lay out your template and just use a digital copy and say, "I don't have one done yet, but this is what I'm planning to make it look like." And you can share that with them.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna tag on to that just a little bit because I have to get my two
Please
cents
do.
in.
Debbie's
Um,
got great information.
So, Gladys, first of all, I'm going to say start with the people who know, like, and trust you already. If you're a realtor, you have a home inspector you work with, you have a carpet cleaning company you work with, any of those people, home cleaners, because, a lot of times people don't clean their house really well and you need to pay for a move out cleaner, whatever the case may be. You have these businesses that you use and refer on a regular basis. Start with them. They know, like, and trust you when you say, "Hey, look, it's only going to cost you $150 and I'm going to get you in front of 2,500 homes." They're gonna like, yeah, where do I send the money? How quickly can I get it to you? Right? When is it going out? It's gonna be a lot of excitement around that for only $150 or $250, whatever you're gonna decide to sell it for. So that is the first thing. Start with those people you know, like, and trust. And if you decide to join Rachel and Dalton's community, they have templates in there that they share with you so you can download the template. They also have um, information on the printer. And what I learned the other day is that their printer has some sample packs that he can send you of cards that have already been printed so that, you can say, well, this isn't our market, this isn't our neighborhood, but this is a card from a different market, a different neighborhood, and this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to be on here right along with you. We're just kind of riding this wave together so that it brings down all of our marketing costs. So, got
Great
it?
point,
All right.
Debbie. Thank you.
Yeah. Nakia.
Hi, good morning. Thank you guys for the call. This is some great information, and you did
Yeah.
answer some of my questions. So it sounds like if we join the community, there's already a printer. That's great. I understand you do have the templates, but let's just say this, I'm Canva deficient. Do you guys have anything in the community where maybe we could just pay someone to create this for us? And lastly, once we join the community, I did see the 4-week timeline, but are you able to get through that a little bit quicker, or you definitely need the 4 weeks to get all this done?
Yes. So yes and yes. So we do have recommendations with inside the community where you can kind of outsource those designs where you don't have to handle it at all. We also have another template that is just seriously like text. It is so simple. So if you wanted to attempt that one, you could. It's even simpler than the one that we just showed on the screen here. So you do
Okay.
have two really good options if you're Canva illiterate that we would be more than happy to share with you. And then your second question, what was that again?
The time frame, are you able to
Yes.
get them out sooner than the 4 weeks?
Absolutely. Yes. On average, we see 2 to 3 weeks. And if you really stay consistent and get aggressive with it, it can be filled within a couple of days.
Es-
Like, oh,
Yeah,
go ahead,
well, I was going to
Dalton.
say, especially if you're taking up multiple spots, then that's less businesses you got to
Mhm.
contact and fill. So it truly depends on how much work, how much money, and you want to make at the end of the process.
Yeah.
And then just two more questions, then I'm done. I clicked on your link. I do see the sample that was given. I'm not seeing where does the address actually go? So where is the
Oh,
space to put the
Great question.
address?
yeah, that's a great question. And that's another fun thing when I was talking about how you don't need a list because it's through EDDM. So you'll see in the middle, it's called an indicia. So it's like a little pre-printed area for a stamp and then a pre-printed area that just has
Local postal customer.
local postal customer. So that's just automatically printed on there. The templates that we build have that built in so that you don't forget it. Because if you forget it, it's a huge problem. So whether you come and use our templates or not, this is for everybody here. Make sure you
Yeah.
look into the indicia requirements and have it in the right place and the right size and with the right verbiage. Because if that's not on there, it won't be accepted.
Yeah.
So great
EDD.
Okay,
question.
and on the indicia that you're referring to now, that's our responsibility or the printers?
It would be your responsibility to have it on the template. And
Okay,
our templates within the community already have it built in.
Hmm.
And if you are using our printer and if you send it to him without an indicia, he is going to call you. He will make sure that it's on there. He's really good.
okay. And then, so one last question. When we're selling this, they don't need to submit a logo or anything. We could just show them those samples and say, hey, we'll kind of put it together for you essentially.
Yeah, so you'll just need their logo, which you can either have them send that to you or you can pull it off of their website if you're able to do that. And then sometimes they might want a photo included, but mainly you just need their phone number, their website, then their offer and their logo, and that's it.
Okay,
And
okay.
only
Well,
the
I'll,
logo is
I'll
photo.
definitely be joining the community. I'm ready to get started.
Awesome. We're
Okay,
excited to
thanks
see you
so
in
much for
there.
your time.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
thank you for your questions.
Okay, so something that we haven't talked about yet that I want to add is if if you work with one of those specialty vendors like a coffee shop, a pizza shop, even a carpet cleaner or what have you, it is a great idea to have expiration dates on whatever coupons you put on there. It gives them a sense of urgency, and they know they need to get to that place before whatever that date is, and it gives you the opportunity to go back after that date and ask them, how many people, how many customers did you get from the last mailing that we did? Excuse me. And that's actually something that you can talk about before you do the printing when you meet with them. Say, hey, We're putting this expiration date on it. I'm going to come back and ask you afterwards how many customers you got on it. Try to keep the best track you can, or whatever, so that you want them to be excited when you come back to them and they go, "Oh my gosh, I got 50 new clients from it." Whatever the case is, and then you know what? They're not going to want to stop. They're going to. When are you doing the next one? That's going to be the exciting part, right? When are you doing the next one? And as far as what Glass was talking about earlier, how quickly can you do it? If you go to those people who know, like, and trust you and are ready to say yes immediately, you can actually really speed up that timeline also.
Yeah, absolutely. Bon Bon made a comment in the chat here that I wanted to highlight because this was something that I was actually thinking of while I was talking because we did this. So he said, or she, what if you use a slot for community events and sell that slot as well? And that's a fantastic idea. So you can find organizations that are hosting events. So for example, we just had a women's health fair pay to be on the card. They did, I think, three of our mailings trying to promote their event. I've seen people actually not charge for events as well, just to create that sticky seller that people want to hang on to, that makes them put it up on their fridge. So yeah, absolutely. Putting events on there is a great, great idea. Thank you for highlighting that.
Yeah, and we've also used it as a bartering chip for, we sponsored a pet fest here for where they help local animals get adopted, and we were able to trade, a table space for our marketing agency, and at that point they got free advertising as well on the card. So it's more than just money; it's relationships, like I said, and a bartering chip at that point.
Yep.
Wow, that's a great idea. So think of a countertop company that you could get, instead of charging them 150 or $250 for the spot, you could have them give you a gift card. And it doesn't have to be countertops. It could be any type of business, a window covering business, anything that people need when they move into a new home. And you could use that as a giveaway at your open houses.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's amazing. There was something else, but I forget what it is. So anyone else have any other questions while I try to remember what they? Oh, nonprofits.
Oh,
So
yes. Yes.
yeah. So Dalton had talked about that before, and so Dalton, I'll give that to you, and then I'm gonna probably tag onto it, of course.
Yeah. So what we do is we also kind of help out with the community, and we offer spots to nonprofits, and truly because we are here to help, and that's the whole purpose behind this. It's not always for money, and the connections that they have and referrals that they can provide are incredible. So, I truly recommend finding nonprofits in your area that you can benefit by getting their name out, getting their messaging, because they need the help. They're not in it for money. They're there to help people as well. So that avenue is a really strong one, especially for referrals.
Yeah, and let's say you grab a nonprofit like right at the start of the card, then you say, "Hey, myself and said nonprofit, we're looking for a way to get our names out there." So then you just added another person that this is benefiting and that you can bring to the next businesses, that it just really becomes like this beautiful group project.
Yeah, there's so much more that you can really give when you do this project, because like I said, only half of the card has to be paid for it and you can get it out. So, if you go into this with the mindset of I'm truly here to help other people, I mean, you'll flourish more than you could ever think.
Hmm. And Gladys just mentioned Chamber of Commerce in the comments, and that's a great avenue. Dalton and I are part of our local chamber, and we have become known as the postcard people because we always talk about it at the events we go to. So great point, Gladys.
And the other thing that I'll say as far as nonprofits is the the nonprofits have a lot of businesses that support them, and so if the nonprofit, if you provide a spot for free for the nonprofit, it's very likely that you could get the businesses that support that nonprofit to actually take a spot on your card as well, because they're looking to promote it. They promote their business and the nonprofit all at the same time. And then one of the things that Rachel said in a previous call we had together was that once you get you and the nonprofit and any other businesses on there, it makes it a lot easier to sell the next spots because you are, I apologize. That clinic is calling me, and that's the noise on the phone. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Um, uh, oh, a lot easier to sell the more spots because you're saying, oh yeah, so this person, this person, this person, all these businesses are advertising with us. You want to be in there with them, right? So
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. Has anyone used a spot to sell a spot for future mailing spot?
Yes, yes, great question. Since, we advertise our marketing agency on there, we usually take a spot saying like your spot here with the price, or an offer. If like we've done buy three, get one free. So we'll put that there. And we have gotten calls from it because, most of the time we are sending to affluent neighborhoods. So it lands in a lot of business owners' mailboxes. So really good point one.
All right. Anyone else have another question? Please paste the link again. And Jenny has one more question. Jenny, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Oh, hi. Quick question. I know that you guys may have talked about this, but I didn't catch it. About the listing, like say 2,500 households that you mail it to. So I will help be the one that providing the list where these postcards will go to. Is that correct?
So it's actually not really a list. Don't have to purchase any sort of list. You go to EDDM, and that stands for Every Door Direct Mail, and it does exactly what the name says. It just goes to every door in the routes that you select. So that service is free to use. You go on there, you're able to pick out those routes and the neighborhoods that you want the cards to go to. So no list needed, Jenny.
Yeah, EDDM is actually through the United States Postal Service, so
Mhm.
it's a government program that they put together to help you blanket zip codes when you're mailing. So you're just hitting every door in a mailing route.
Yep.
All right. Anyone else have any questions? I'm just trying to scroll through and see if there was anything else.
I saw
I,
bond
I
on
have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So, when you have the different sizes of squares, are those different prices? Like if somebody had a larger square and then somebody else only wanted a smaller one, do you adjust the price for that?
Yes. So the way we do it is if they purchase more than one square, they get 10% off. So if they bought two squares with us, it's 270. If they want four squares, which equals half a page, that's 540. So you can kind of price it however you want. We just did easy 10% off the top if they bought more than one, but you can kind of lay it out whatever makes sense for you.
Yeah, we do 10% because it'll eliminate some of the work for you. So, incentivize them or worked out some sort of deal.
Yep.
Okay, and so the squares are not always squares. Some of them are rectangles. They're different sizes. I mean, different shapes, correct?
Right, correct. So the one that we showed had the Realtor. His was at the top. That was more rectangular shape. That was two spots. And then the one in the bottom right corner was a painter that bought two spots, and that was rectangular. So could be a little square, big square, or a rectangle. Just kind of however
Okay.
it lays out.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Debbie, I'm so sorry. My apologies. I have one more question. I just got the template printed out in front of me. The template, the sample that provided by Rachel. Speaking of square, I'm looking at the first one on the first row. It says a free home sales valuation. For example, that one, a Realtor Ross. So that's a two square. Is that correct to say for
That's
that
correct.
particular advertisement?
Yep.
Yes.
So one square 150. In this case, you have a 10% discount. Will be what? 300, a little bit less than 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one would be 270.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
All right, thanks.
You're
Of course.
welcome.
All right. So you guys really, what I want you to know is that this is your business. Like you're taking what Rachel and Dalton have given you as far as like their strategy and everything, but this is your business. If you want to sell each spot for, you know, $50 because you want to, just subsidize your costs, you can do it. So it's really entirely up to you how you handle it, how many squares you sell or don't sell, how much you sell them for, how many people you send them out to. It's just a way to get you out there. Like everyone talks about leads, right? Leads are so expensive. Everybody needs leads. This is just a way for you to get your name in front of people on a regular basis. If you do this once a month, you could do it once a week if you wanted to, and you can do your farm area. This is like where you want to be selling houses. You can choose 3, 4, 5, 10 different farm areas. You can have the same people on the card all the time. You can switch it up and have different people on the card. It's entirely up to you. I know it's a little bit more work, but I would always at least move the squares around so that it doesn't look exactly the same, and have those, expiration dates that I mentioned. But yeah, this is truly everything is up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said, our free mini course just kind of gives a recap with a little bit more detail than what we talked about here today for you guys to check out. And then joining the community is completely optional. Either way, we want you guys to go do this, whether you come hang out in our community and join us and sign up for the paid membership. That's where, Dalton and I will actually be on with you guys monthly. We're in the community helping you guys out. But either way, you guys are capable of doing this. It's a great idea and we highly encourage it.
100%. What Rachel said when she started the call, if you can sell a house, you can sell $150 a spot. That is so right on.
Yes.
People are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars with you. Why couldn't you sell something for $150? This is a no-brainer, guys. Um, Anyone else have any questions? Jenny, go for it.
I'm sorry. Okay. So one time mailing, it won't do a thing. You have to be like quarterly penetrating into the marketplace. Target marketing, for example, let's say you pick out this route, you have to do it periodically. Once a quarter, I would say. Is that what your approach is, Rachel?
Actually take an approach where we do 2 cards a month in our local town. So it's truly, what you want to do. If you feel comfortable doing quarterly, or you can do kind of where we run a deal where we buy 3, get 1 free. So we're committing them for 2 months when we sell them. So that's why the kind of approach we take. But it's truly up to you because you could sell it any way you want.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Also, if you let the EDDM to decide which route you want to pick and choose, you are not the one providing the list. That's great. But also at the same time, say if you want to follow up and you can't really have that list in front of you in your database. You know what I'm saying? So do I have a choice to provide my own list, or I have to pick and choose from their list provided by
So
EDDM?
I'll kind of explain what kind of marketing this is, and maybe that'll clear up that kind of question for you. So this is actually indirect marketing. So there's not really a response you're looking for. You're just really pushing exposure. And that's really a great way that you sell to others as well, because you'll have big companies like Toyota and stuff. They'll spend $30,000 a month on indirect advertising just to get their name out there.
Think of indirect as like billboards.
Yep.
Billboards aren't meant to create an instant response. They can, but that's not the exact goal. So these postcards are like a billboard delivered to your mailbox. So the great thing about not having a list is you can just take note of those routes and send to those same people again.
Right.
So that's what we do. We've selected our routes and we just hit them every single month.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
You're welcome.
Nikia.
That was kind of my question, almost, but not exactly. So if we're just going to do a 2,500 mailers, that's just one route. We should be sticking with the same zip code.
So it's up to you, but repeated touches is where you're going to see the best results for yourself and the participating businesses. So, for example, here in Montana, we do 2 neighborhoods. One is called Miller Creek and one is called Rattlesnake. So we have selected pretty much they both themselves make up right about 2,500, a little bit less. So it works out, but in bigger, larger areas, you're going to see neighborhoods that have 5,000, 7,000.
Right.
So if you want to hit the whole neighborhood, I recommend doing a rotation, but always make sure to kind of hit those same people again so that they keep seeing your face and they
Right.
keep seeing your name and the businesses on there with you.
Yeah, you're using the TOMA
Hmm.
acronym, which is top of mind awareness. So that's the game you play.
Hmm.
Okay, so basically, if you wanted to do like you guys are doing 2 neighborhoods or even 3, then you should just make sure you have 2,500 for each neighborhood,
Yes,
Yeah.
I guess.
correct.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, one thing I want to point out that maybe isn't clear is when you choose the routes, they're done by postal carrier routes, and a postal route could be 500 or so. And so, as you're choosing the neighborhood, there could be 2 or 3 routes inside the neighborhood. So you have to choose the routes that you want and try to get it as close to the 2,500 as possible.
Yeah. So when we're sending to 2,500 in our area, that equals anywhere from 3 to 5 routes.
All right. Well, you
I have
guys,
one.
sorry, go
I
ahead.
have. I have one last question.
Sure.
Is there a magic number that, if you do these consistently, say twice a month to a particular neighborhood and you're targeting them, when do you think is a good expectation to get to see a return?
So
At
that can
least
kind
for
of
even
vary.
my business.
Right. Yeah. So sales can kind of vary. And I would say, I think the magic number lands somewhere between 7 and 12. And so that's a huge range. So it's kind of hard to nail down that one magic number because it can be anywhere from that 7 to 12, maybe less, maybe more. That's just kind of what research shows for higher ticket items to kind of convert off of multiple touches.
Well, yeah, that's
Is that the
that's kind of.
same?
Oh, go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, is that the same for the local businesses as well?
It truly depends on your ticket item costs.
Mhm.
If you're selling $15 coffee or a $4 coffee, it doesn't matter. You're going to get almost immediate response. But if you're, an HVAC guy, you may take a couple months before somebody actually needs that service. And because it's not targeted to a specific demographic of what a person, like needs a new HVAC system, um, it comes out to turn around and be a little bit harder to really share exposure and ROI. But that's why you're really selling exposure here. And that's why you're pushing yourself, or when somebody's ready, you're the person they call.
Yeah.
So
Like
it's
think of it.
probably good then to have a good mix of different vendors, right?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
That Debbie was kind of talking about that earlier, and she made a great point. And this is what we call sticky sellers, like coffee and restaurants. Those are always going to get used. They're always going to get responses because everybody gets
Okay.
coffee, everybody goes out to eat. And those make people hold on to those postcards, where then the other advertisers sit with them. So maybe, the postcard lands in their mailbox on Monday and their heat's working just fine, but then Wednesday it breaks,
I I
unfortunately.
forgot to mention like the most important part about these cards and like the really big seller that we push is we actually don't allow competitors on the card. So that's how this card differs from Valpak, where you've got a ton of other advertisers like HVAC companies. We opened one the other day and there was 3 or 4 with a different coupon in there. But
Mhm.
with this card, you're really creating that one-on-one experience and there's no competition.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
perfect. Thank you.
And one thing I want to clarify before we wrap this up is that you mentioned ROI and return on investment. Your investment is negative $1,000. You already have a return on your investment. Your investment is your time that it takes you to do these mailings. And if you've done it as they suggested, and you've taken one square and you've made $1,000 on the postcard, you've already gotten a return on your investment of time. And if you do this twice a month and you make $2,000, honestly, it doesn't matter if you ever sell a house from it, you've made $2,000 each month from sending out these postcards. So I get it. Yes, that's what we want. We want to sell houses. We want to have people call us to help them buy a home, whatever. But this is free. It is free. Not only is it free, it's putting money in your pocket. So, like, anyone can do this. I just can't say it any stronger. But you guys, yes, Elise, the community is $29 per month. And that is to get all their templates, all their help, getting things set up. They do a once a month call. But what I want you guys to understand is whether you join the community or not, they've already given you all of the information that you need to go out there and implement this stuff. They told you the size of the card. They told you there's 16 on it. They told you to make sure that you have the postcard information. I mean the yeah, that word have on it. So you've got everything that you need, and you could do a little bit of more research on your own, or you can take the easy path. You can hit the easy button and pay $29 a month to send out a postcard, and then if you send out one a month, instead of making $1,000, you made $970.
Yeah.
How more of a no-brainer it could be. So you guys, we want you to do this. We want you to help grow your business and get free marketing. So we're at the top of the hour. We're actually 1 minute over. So we're gonna put a lid on this. Rachel and Dalton, thank you so much for being here and sharing with us how our agents can get all of this free marketing and your community that can help them take the fast track or the easy button for this. We really appreciate your time this morning. And all of you guys, thank you for hanging out here with us. I hope that I did an okay job in lieu of having Robert here to do the training this morning. So you guys have a wonderful week, and I want to see in the Facebook group. I want to see those cards when you get them. So thank you, Bon Bon. Appreciate that. You guys, Gladys, thank you. So we will see you guys all next week. Armiza, thank you so much for taking care of all this. And which Facebook group? Armiza, can you put the Agent Alliance Facebook group in the chat so that Nakia and anyone else who is not already in there can actually join the group? There you go. See, ask and you get it. All right, you guys. See you all next week. Appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Debbie.
Debbie. Thank you, Armiza. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us today.